Well, we all know how important exercise is, but could all that exercise actually be bad for us? Dr. Zorba Paster joining us this morning on more on that. So what's the
that would first of all be awful, right? If all the exercise we're doing and the work we're doing would be bad for us. So, interesting study. What happened was a researcher was looking back at some of his data and noticed that some people had risk factors for heart disease getting worse with exercise, that their blood pressure didn't go down, that their lipids, cholesterol, and triglycerides actually got worse, the good cholesterol got worse, they had some increased insulin resistance. So he thought, well, that's kind of funny about this. Let me look back at some other studies, and he did a study of studies. So he looked at roughly 1,500 participants who exercised over a fairly long period of time and found out 10% actually got worse in terms of their risk factors for heart disease and stroke.
That's really interesting because I have found that I think it's helped along with medication to bring down cholesterol and triglycerides and all that stuff. So what?
So, well, this is kind of we don't really know the answer to this. Why some people get worse, but I think we have to delve a little bit further, and we have to say, why are we exercising in the first place? I mean, if you exercise, you're not often exercising for fun. Sometimes you are, but it's to stay healthy. We have to look at the reduction of heart attack rates. He didn't look at that. He looked at the factors increasing the risk for heart attack rates, but maybe exercise reduces that risk. So it's a little bit murky, but on the other hand, maybe for some people exercise is not as good as we think.
Well, I know, especially if you're if you can become so obsessed with it, and make it almost seems like a job.
Absolutely.
And it should be fun.
And I think you brought up a really good factor. There's exercise obsession that people have, and maybe these people were obsessed with exercise. When you have an obsession with exercise, it increases your stress hormones, not good for you, not good for your heart, not good for the blood vessels in your brain. So that may be the issue. I mean, exercise should be somewhat pleasurable or really pleasurable, enjoyable, and if you miss a day or two, it's no big deal. If it becomes a job, it's not good.
I think sometimes you really have to watch your intensity. If you want to have maybe 1 or 2 intense days, the rest should be, and mix it up a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
With some, biking, running.
For sure. And then we have to look at the injury rate. When I look at every major injury I've had in my life, it's associated with exercise. Now, I'm not going to stop doing exercise and eat a gummy bear brat.
With a hamburger on top.
With a hamburger on top. But I think exercise has to play a role, and moderation is always the key. And I think with exercise, that's the answer.
I think you're right about that. Don't make it a job. It should be enjoyable.
Absolutely.
There you go. All right, Doctor, thank you.
Stay well.
All right, I will try. We're going to come right back. We have more.